March 3rd, 2021, and that's what we're doing. Back up a little bit here so I don't wing up for one. But yeah, you guys guessed her. We're going snowplowing. We didn't get a crazy amount. Just enough to go out. So what I thought we'd do, I planned on doing a video on what it's like to start a business and what I did to start my business. So yeah, I figured we'd kill two birds with one stone. So let's do that. I'm just gonna close the shop down there, guys. I'll be right back. Well, it's starting to snow again. Which is just great, isn't it? No, it's definitely not. It's March. I want us to be in. Over. Alright, I'm gonna have a little sip of tea here. Excuse me. So basically, what I definitely want to add to this video is the fact that this is not all going to be everyone's opinion, obviously. Lots of businesses have, in fact, there's very rare businesses. That's hard to businesses my goodness, who have started business the way that I did. Now, the way that I did it was, some would say really risky, but to me, there wasn't too much risk involved. So what I did, I started with next to nothing, like literally nothing. I don't think there's many of you out there that would believe me when I tell you that I started this business, up a bit, with $5,000 to my name. I had very little equipment. I had actually zero equipment. I mean, when I say equipment, I mean really hand tools. Like, I think I bought a compactor my first year, your basic tools like shovels, wheelbarrows, etc. Things like that. They dumped flowers all over here. Oh, that pisses me off. I hate litter bugs. Anyways, yeah, I started with pretty much nothing. Like, to me, it was very little risk, because if it didn't take off within a year or two, I could just shut it down and then, you know, go run a piece of heavy equipment out west at an oil field or something like that. So yeah, to me, it was minimal risk. Now, that being said, well, and I didn't have to do advertising, I didn't have to get investors, I didn't have to do any of that stuff. But I mean, in my mind, if you're starting a business somewhere in a big city, I'm in a city of, I didn't really class it as a city. I mean, I was born here. We got just over 50,000 people, which is not very many. I mean, I consider it a small town-ish kind of feel, because everyone knows everyone one way or another here, which is why it was easy for me to start the way that I did, because I had already had a lot of connections with my previous employer, helping operate his business, running his business. And no, I did not just up and leave this guy. I was very loyal to him. He actually had passed away, which is very unfortunate. Him and I were good friends. I used to go play cards with him every now and again. I'd go plow, he owned a garden center. I'd go plow the garden center for him in the winter months, take care of that property. and his house was on the same property, so I'd go shovel his place and plow his place with our backhoe, one of our backhoes. And yeah, he was 79 years old when he passed, so he had a pretty good life. He was doing what he loved. You know, he was very much like myself, addicted to work, didn't ever want to retire. And he was a really good man. I look up to him. So like I said, I did not, you know, just leave my boss and steal his business. No, that's not the way it worked. In fact, that company is still going. His son is running. Well, actually, it's a completely different company, but his son is running with the name, because it's the same as my company. It's off of a last name. And yeah, his son was in Ottawa, so I did not, you know, I did not hurt that name or anything in any way. Anyways, all right, whatever. People are gonna say whatever. It's not gonna bug me. I got pretty thick skin. But yeah, I had a lot of connections, contractors, places that have sold hardscaping materials. That's what my business strictly was. It was just, well, his business strictly was hardscaping. He didn't do plowing or excavation or any of that type of stuff, just hardscaping. So I didn't even do advertising. I think I advertised 2 or 3 years, but I found it really did nothing. I think your best advertisement in a city like mine is word of mouth. And we have this little thing called social media nowadays that you really don't need to, you know, to put ads on Yellow Pages or any of that crap. In fact, I just stopped doing Yellow Pages because it has done nothing for me. So if you're gonna advertise, I think your best bet is social media and radio. I think radio works really well because lots of people listen to the radio on their way into work, you know. At least lots of people I know. And I really haven't done much for radio. I've only done a handful of ads because like I said, I really don't need to advertise. But starting out a business, you should do some sort of advertising. I didn't really do any my first year, mainly because I couldn't afford it. That $5 grand I had was completely put into to tools and such. Alright, so my first year I rented all of the heavy equipment that I needed to use. And my second year I bought a skid steer and a mini excavator. I just bought it outright. Just bought them outright. Which worked out well. And then obviously things really took off for me pretty well in the last 3 years, I would say, because I ran 4 years, well, 3 years with just that skid steer and that mini excavator and nothing else. Which I no longer have. I just sold the excavator not long ago. It was a little Takeuchi TB025. Good machine, just a bugger to get parts for. The skid steer I sold, I guess it'd be 3 years this July. bought that Cat 246D off of a commercial contractor that I do a lot of work for. My goodness, these lots are going to be shining. That's nice. You know what though, it's going to warm up, so it's all good. So you don't really need equipment to start off, but the things you definitely do need for contracting wise, like I'm going to mention at the beginning of this video, this is pretty much going to be probably just related to like small construction slash, you know, like hardscaping kind of business is probably what it's going to relate to. But anyways, you can get away with renting equipment for the first year if you have to, like I did. It's not a big deal. But you don't want to stick doing that because that can get really costly. And at the end of paying all that money out, you don't own anything. I would recommend trying to buy your equipment your second year, at least something. And I also want to mention to you guys, be prepared to work. You're going to be married to it. And when I say married to it, I mean married to it. Like literally. I'm on my 8th year now. And I am married to this. Like it's never ending for me. I don't know if I put the sanding video up yet or not, but I wasn't kidding at the end of that video when I said I had a bunch of invoicing to go do and that the work never ever stops. You are married to owning a business. Now, the more and more reliable guys I hire, things will, you know, get better and better. A little bit easier on me. It'll either be easier or I will grow the company, which is what my plan is to grow the company. I mean, I've grown it a lot in the last 3 years. My business has tripled. But it would be nice to get, you know, get bigger. But there's lots of things that you're going to have to gain knowledge of as you're going. 2018, I would say, it was my biggest learning year, based off the fact of the amount of money I had to give to the government, because of the way I did some things. Now, even though you have a great year, you don't always have to give them money, if a crazy amount of money, sorry, if you're doing things right. Now, the reason why I had to give them so much money, yawning. Sorry, I just woke up not long ago. I think it's 1:30 in the morning, 1:30 a.m. Yeah, you know what? I ain't gonna plow this one yet. I'm gonna scoot on over to the next one, and we will continue our conversation. All right, I will see you over there, guys. Not too much of a smear in the window. I ran out of freaking washer fluid and I forgot to get more. Anyways, like I was saying, there's lots of mistakes you can make. The one mistake I made in 2018 that screwed me over, where I had to give the government half my money. Now this is just in Canada. I made a purchase of that 2460. I just bought it outright. And that wasn't a cheap machine. Now the way it works, you just buy something outright like that. You're only allowed to claim 15% your first year of the total purchase, and then a depreciation of it every year after. Well, basically, I had to claim, what was it? I think it was an extra $45,000 as profit that was not profit. So you can bet your ass that from that day forward I said, yeah, no more of that. No more of that. So I figured out the best way to do it, where it's 100% write-off of every penny that goes out. That way I don't have to give the government a stupid amount of money. Cause I ain't gonna lie, that frickin' hurt, man. That really hurt that year. Basically what I had to do that year was give the government, like in taxes, half the money that I had. That extra $40-some thousand in profit I had to claim put me over the top. It was like just ridiculous the amount of money I had to give to them. I don't even want to tell you. Anyways, the following year when I purchased this loader, I gave them maybe 10%, and I made more money that year. I gave them 10% of what I gave them in 2018 and 2019. Because of educating myself on the tax system here in Canada and how it works. Yeah, it was kind of a hard way to learn it. Expensive way, I should say. But I tell you this much, that'll never happen again. Never. That's also why I try to buy a piece of equipment every year. Brand new, every year. God, I hope it warms up soon. I'm not saying necessarily the way I started my business. What the hell was that? Oh, just a shadow. Just a shadow is the best way to do it. Because everyone's situation is different, right? Like I actually had multiple people that I knew that wanted to invest in me and invest in my company, but I turned it down. just for the reason I didn't want to answer to anybody. I don't need a board. I don't need people telling me what to do, or, you know, people, you know, judging my every move. Not to mention, I wanted to be 100% owner of the business. I could have had investors. I could have started off right away with, you know, probably brand new equipment and, you know, all this and that, but I didn't want that. I didn't want a partner. I didn't want investors. I didn't want any of that. Basically, the last thing I wanted was someone else trying to tell me how to run things. It was the last thing I wanted. So I decided to go it alone. Not necessarily alone, because I do have a business partner. I am married, guys. My wife is my partner. Oh, that's bumpy. And a good one at that, because she's a silent partner. She knows that I know what I'm doing and just lets me do my thing. We make a good team. Most of the time. But yeah, I mean, there's so many different ways you could start your business. You could start off with investors. You could start off with partners. All that stuff, right? Just for me, my preferences was to go it alone, to do it alone. Oh, that warm weather loosened up some of the recycled asphalt here. It's -5 right now. Last night was -30. Holy crap, that better be the last of that nonsense. One other thing I could say with hardscaping business, I mean, like you can't compare what I do to like a grass cutting company. You just can't. With hardscaping, you do not want to start it alone. You want to make sure you have some staff. My brother, who has worked with me for many, many years, and also worked for me from when I started the company, decided to go off on his own last year, which is great. You know, I wish him nothing but the best. I've actually passed jobs his way. He started with no employees by himself. Well, his first year did not go good at all, and it should have went great because like the COVID just set our market was like booming, like you wouldn't believe. Like with everyone at home, everyone was spending money. He should have had a hell of a year, and I'm sure he could have if he had staff. It's something, holy, it's something he's afraid to get into, which I don't blame him. I mean, I had trouble last year with staff, even with guys that I've had work for me for a long time. You know, guys not showing up. Which is one of the main reasons why I worked 7 days a week last year. It's hard to trust guys. It really, really is. I mean, there's so much on the line. Like, and you know, when you tell a client something, you don't want to call them back and tell them the opposite. You give them a rough start date. But I'm smart when I give people start dates for contracts. It's all weather pending. That's what I say. I say it could be, you know, a 2-week time span by the time I get there. And I'm usually pretty, you know, really like pretty much right on that 2-week time span. But sometimes you just run into things, you know, where you have clients that add things to the project and you make the decision to do it now because you have the equipment there and you don't want to have to do it by hand later on, right? No one wants to do that. So I mean, things happen. But a phone call goes a long way. Don't avoid your clients. I mean, you're not gonna be able to please everyone though. I can tell you that right now. Because some people you just cannot please. I mean, it's sad to say that, but it's 100% true. Some people you can just not please. Definitely would want to make sure you have at least one guy to help you out, because you cannot do everything, you cannot be everywhere. I started with 2 guys working for me, and that was enough. Holy pure ice right here. I'm gonna ram into that little pile. It's impossible for you to be able to do everything. Literally impossible. You can't. You just can't do it. That being said, I do as much as I possibly can. But you can't do everything. I think that's the hardest thing about being in business as a hardscaping contractor is the staff. Finding the staff. Other things. I'm going to try to get licensed for septic this year. That way I can start doing septic next year. You don't need to have the crazy amount of staff doing just moving dirt jobs that you need for hardscaping. Hardscaping is, I would say, the hardest trade out there. And a lot of these guys are very underrated. And yeah, I pay my guys well who know what the hell they're doing. My highest paid guy right now is 21 bucks an hour. And he would be higher if he could actually operate equipment. He sucks at operating equipment. But boy, can that guy build. But yeah, if there was someone out there who could do everything I could do, which I'm going to try to find this year, running equipment, you know, running his own sites fast and efficiently where it makes the business money, I will give that guy easily 25 bucks an hour and a company truck, without a doubt. Because those guys are hard to find. You want to hang on to them, and you definitely want to keep them. So you pay them well. Alright, I think we're good on this one. Go head on over to the next. Excuse me. think your most valuable asset when it comes to running a business is going to be your staff. Like without a doubt, that's your most valuable asset. They're hard to find in any trade, and I'm sure any company out there could tell you that. Any construction type of work or whatever, anything like that, they'll definitely tell you that. It's my most valuable asset, without question. You find those guys who can do things on their own. You don't have to babysit. That is just so nice. It's the best. Smaller cities and smaller towns, counties, whatever it may be, wherever you are located. The one thing you want to do that is really always going to truly help you out is do a good job. Like take pride in your work. I mean, you just got to, or you will be out of business faster than you can say boo. You want to gain clientele and you want to keep them. I have guys that I've done projects for at their house, at their cottages, something, you know. I mean, I've had guys that I've done jobs for. I would say at least 5 or 6 good-sized jobs since I started my business. Just the one person. A lot of them are actually my friends, you know. They're really good people. So if you can find clients like that, do what you can to hang on to them, you know. You still have to make business, or make money, because you're still a business. That's what you're here to do. You got to be able to stay in business, but definitely take care of those. Take care of every client, but your ones that are, you know, calling you for job after job after job, like the commercial contractor I know, he gives me lots of commercial work. I plow his house, which is actually that big residential lot that I plow a lot, that you guys see. I have friends that own dealerships where they have cottages and houses. I've done lots of work at, and then just your plain Jane, you know, client that you're doing a one-off, you know, they're building a house and you're doing that job for them. Do a good job. I tell you, in my line of work, there's a lot of guys out there who do a crappy job. Either they just don't know what they're doing, or they just don't give. I know one particular, I'm not going to name any names, just does not give a This guy does not give a And at least there was 2 last year, 2 jobs of his that he did that were, one was a year old and one was 3 years old, that he was not honoring his warranty and coming back to fix. So guess who went and fixed it? Yeah, that's right, me. Did the client get billed for it? Yeah, of course. But, you know, they just didn't want to deal with that guy after getting the runaround from him. And, you know, just don't ever be like that guy. Don't ever be like that guy. So that's my best advertising, is word of mouth. There's 2 suppliers here for interlocking brick. The big one would be Northern Brick. They carry so many different companies. And I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty, damn it, I'm pretty sure that I am one of their most recommended contractors, and I get a fair bit of work every year. off of them from their recommendation. So do a good job, work hard. You know, don't do something at someone else's house that you wouldn't do at your own house. It was like a skating rink here the other day. I sanded this place. I had to actually back up while sanding. I couldn't even gain traction. And yeah, this area is gravel, so the snow just, the water, which turns to ice, cements to the gravel, just turns into bloody cement. Oh, that's not good. That's all ice. Awesome. This kind of here sucks. All this crappy plowing. Yeah, definitely take care of your clients, and it'll pay off. And there's a saying out there that I'm a firm believer in: hard work forever pays. It truly does. It really does. Say it, but whatever, I'm gonna say it. I hope this is the last freaking snowfall. It really honestly does not look like that, but I am hoping that that is the case. Getting tired of winter. Sick of winter. Well, I'm sure everybody out there can agree with me. I can't wait to get back out there working, feeling the sun on your back, through your shirt, mind you, because I'm not one of those. Yeah, it's just gonna be nice to get out there and feel that sun on your skin. I love working my job. I love working outside. There is nothing like it. Nothing like it. Well, I am going to do removal tomorrow night. Which will be the 5th, I think. Today's the 3rd. Yeah, the 5th. And that's definitely going to be my last time doing removal. There's no way we're going to get crazy snow. Knock on wood. There's no wood around me, but I'll knock on something. Alright. This one, I think I'm gonna be doing some good sanding in the morning too. Son of a gun. Alright, off to the next one. We'll finish up our conversation in this video. say one of the key things that has helped my business grow the way it has in the last 3 years. Well, there's a lot of key reasons actually. Staff is one. Not so much last year. Last year was not fun with staff. Not everyone though, I shouldn't say that. Majority of the staff was good. But there was the oddball. It was just like a nightmare. The other thing I would say would be, my goodness, it's quite the hop up there. The way I've been running the business, like my work ethic is, not only am I addicted to making YouTube videos, guys. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I gotta sweep in here, a little dusty. Yeah, not only am I addicted to making YouTube videos, I am 100% addicted to work. I am very much addicted to work. My wife says I am. Everyone I know says I am. I say I am. That's another thing you gotta make sure as well, because you're gonna be married to it. Make sure you enjoy what you're doing, that you love it. Because if you do, it's not really gonna be work. You're just gonna be having fun all the time, right? Like, even though I'm sick of snow plowing right now, it doesn't mean that I don't enjoy it. Like, I do enjoy it. It's a nice quiet pastime, right? And you're just sitting in a machine, you got a radio on, my case and camera, talking to myself. I just get sick of it this time of year, just like everybody else. Everybody else wants winter to end. So do I. You know, it's very long here in Canada. Winter is it lasts a hell of a long time. Yeah, we most years we have snow on the ground for a minimum of 5 months here. This snow won't be gone until April, probably mid-April. Hear me complain a bit, even during the summer months. Very little bit, because I do love what I do. They usually complain about, you know, something not showing up on time, or, you know, just something changing that completely screws over my schedule. But anybody would complain about that. It's just normal stuff, right? There's no one out plowing. I know there's not like hardly any snow here, but my goodness. There's still enough to go plow and take care of it. It's gonna be it's not like it's gonna melt tomorrow. I feel like a Lone Ranger out here. Key thing that's really helped me out, like I was talking about, I think it is key to understand how the tax system works where you're from. You know, what you can write off 100%, what you can't. If there's anything you can't write off 100% that year, it's money that you spent, you're gonna have to claim that as a bloody income or as profit, which is not which is not ideal, let me tell you. It's just, it sucks. It really sucks. Yeah, when you got, you know, say you have a really good year, you know, and you go, this is awesome, you know, I got 60 or 80 or $100,000+ in your account, and the next thing you know, you end up having to give the government 50% of that just in taxes. Kind of makes you wonder, like, what the hell am I doing wrong? So it's very, very important to understand those types of things. Very, very important. It's probably one of the most important things in my mind when it comes to business. Yeah, I'll just pull the here. Ever since I figured that out in 2018, the amount of money I've been giving the government is minimal. I mean minimal. I mean, the taxes you charge on the service you're providing and the materials you've sold, it's going to be what it's going to be, right? But what also helps with that is the purchases, because you can claim that. We pay what's called HST, Harmonized Sales Tax, here in Canada, which is provincial and federal tax combined. Which is, it's 13% where I'm at on everything. So yeah, this loader, 13% tax was paid on it when I bought it. Everything, you name it. Like if it's sold or you provide just a service, you're paying 13% or charging 13%. Purchases actually do help with that as well, because the tax on this machine was, I think it was close to $20,000 just the tax on it. So that helped me with my taxes for 2019, and it also helped me with the tax I have to pay on profit, because it was 100% write-off. In fact, I still have left over I can claim this year on this piece of equipment. The way I see it is you can either spend that money the right way and make a purchase to help your business grow, to help you succeed, to make life easier on you and your staff. Or you can just hold on to that money and be prepared to give it all to the bloody government anyway. So, and there's different ways to purchase equipment. That's another reason why I go with Caterpillar. I put hefty down payments on all my equipment, but I don't buy them outright. Why would I do that? It just doesn't make sense. Because with Caterpillar, believe it or not, on all the equipment I have through Caterpillar, you know what I pay for interest on the financing? With in-house financing for Caterpillar? 0%. That's right, 0%. And even my wife's little car, that's in-house financing through Nissan. I pay 0%. I will never, ever, 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 and I mean ever, ever pay interest on anything again. Ever. So, back up a bit here. Hopefully this is going to help you guys out a little bit, whoever's planning on starting a business, whoever is currently operating one. I hope the little bit of information I've given you will help. Yeah, I hope it helps someone. If it helps the one person out there, awesome. Makes the video completely worth it. I was planning on doing a video straight up about business and how I started mine, blah 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 blah. But I figured I might as well, you know, kill two birds with one stone. There's not much snow to be plowed, but I still have to plow it. So I figured it's a good time to just, you know, put that video out there. It may not be exactly what I wanted it to be because I'm kind of focusing on not hitting buildings and whatnot, but anyway, hopefully it helps someone out there. Thanks a lot, guys and girls. Thank you for subscribing. Don't forget a thumbs up on the video. Isn't that awesome? The battery dies just as I'm finishing my last like 10 seconds of conversation here. Anyways, like I was saying, don't forget a thumbs up on the video. Comment. Of course, don't forget to subscribe. You guys take care. Hopefully, I'm really hoping we'll see any more snow. Hopefully the next video that comes out, I'm hoping it's the third one. I really do. Or maintenance. Hopefully it's a maintenance one because I got a lot of work to do to the dump truck and skid steer, etc. Mini excavator, everything. Got some work to do to everything. Never ends. Alright guys, take care. Catch you on the next one.